Hello to my Virgos. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get into it. Sending positive energy your way for this week. Let's see what's in your cards. Let's see what's in your cards. Talking to you wherever Virgo is in your birth chart. Let's see what's in your cards. Let's see what this week looks like for you. Let's see what this week looks like for you. Already prayed over your cards. Here we have lovers. Lovers. All right. So some kind of a partnership in business and or in love is coming across your path or has already come across your path, right? But somebody has really made a decision to just focus on self-love, like really focus on self-love. And you're being more conservative with your time. And Source is saying to you, everything is fine. See, this person has all these swords in their back, but Source is saying everything is fine. This is a great time to really learn more about self-love. That's right. Self-love duality, right? Not letting people talk down to you or you not talking down to other people. This is really, being more conservative, with your time, moving on from that kind of stuff, right? This is a Six of Swords, right? Just kind of sort of taking the lead of just like anybody who has moved on from shady energies, moved on from any energies who they felt like they were talking down to somebody, or they felt like somebody was talking down to them. Like somebody is learning that, okay, you need to follow that lead, that kind of a lead, like you're not going to talk to somebody just any old kind of way. And especially if you bring it to somebody's attention and they don't say, oh, I apologize, I didn't realize, I was just moving around so fast, didn't even get a chance to didn't even realize, So here's a King of Swords here. So I definitely see you on your throne. You see these butterflies here. It's like you've gone through some kind of a metamorphosis. You've gone through this change, this rebirth. You is more about self-love and not looking at people as if they're perfect. You don't see you as perfect, those kind of things. But it's just really just like humanizing people, looking at what you have in common with people versus, the differences, right? Competing, comparing, all of that other mess. Like somebody is now thinking, okay, what do I have in common? Who is it that I have in common? There could be a Capricorn that somebody has in common with somebody, because that's the Four of Pentacles here. But somebody's learning how to be more conservative with their time. That's what I'm seeing here. Somebody could be a little bit more conservative with their time. But somebody is definitely learning to move on from things quietly. Just kind of like just gently move on from things where you don't feel like you are appreciated, where people are talking down to you or talking to you any kind of way, or they're accusing you of talking to them any kind of way. You're just quietly just moving on. Quietly moving on, taking your power back, your power and your intellect. You're taking it back, right? So as a result, looking at your cards here, for you, it's going to feel like for somebody on the light side of the number 4, it's actually helped you to move on and add structure and authority to your life. That's what I'm saying about self-love. You're not looking at other people as them being perfect or anything like that. But at the same time, you're not going to let other people treat you like you're supposed to be perfect either, right? So Source is saying you're going to get out of your relationships what you put into them. That's what you're going to get out of your relationships, what you put into them in your work and your personal and your professional. You're going to get out what you put in. So I definitely see a new legacy here. I see a new legacy here. And Source has approved a new legacy for you. You're going to get out what you put in. So somebody's taking a leap of faith. Yep. Somebody is taking a leap of faith, right? So, and I see like via telepathy, somebody may be trying to reach out to somebody via telepathy, just putting some out in the universe. Like I said, via telepathy, but here we have the Seven of Cups here. Source is trying to teach you how to, when the scales removed from your eyes, meaning that you've outgrown some kind of an environment. If you've outgrown a job, if you've outgrown anything, friendship, whatever, no matter how long ago, how long you've been in it. Source is saying when the scales are removed from your eyes, that's when you move on. Even if people are calling you a snake, they don't trust you, whatever, move on. That's what Source is trying to teach you, how to move on. Like I said, move on gently. Source wants somebody to come and get out of this mindset that everything has to feel like a plug is being snatched out of the wall. You know what I'm saying? Like you just like the lights just instantly just went off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like gently just move on. Gently move on. Everything doesn't have to end in a blowtorch war. So that's a source you're trying to help somebody learn how to do. And Seven of Cups, to just gently move on. When you feel like somebody's talking down to you, or they feel like they're saying that you're talking down to them, just quietly just move on. Just move on. You ain't gotta cuss nobody out, go off, none of those. Just quietly just move on. That's what Source is trying to teach somebody. But looking at the cards here, so many people are so used to it being some fiery ending, like they're so dramatic, like it's in the soap operas, which is really, really not funny. That can really actually help, hurt people so the dark side of the Lover's card, when we talk about decisions, could be dysfunction. If the Lover's card was in reverse and somebody quietly moved on from a twin flame in business or twin flame in love, and it was a dysfunctional relationship, and that person is like try to quietly move on from something. Let's say you try to quietly move on from a job, or you try to quietly move on from family relationships or whatever, and that person is just up for war. All they want to do is blow towards you. It's their way or the highway. Source is saying to you, that's when you know that was not a twin flame, because your twin flame would never burn you. They would just say, okay, well, if it's fizzled out, hey, you go your way, I go mine. It's just whatever. That's not a twin flame. Source is trying to help somebody to learn how to be more conservative with your time when it comes to energies who are looking for acceptance and looking for approval in spaces. When you're looking for acceptance and looking for approval, sources say it shouldn't take you that much time to figure it out. It shouldn't take you that much time to figure it out, to stop going along with the flow at this point. The scales, you've been in too many places where people have shown you they don't want you in that place. It's just dysfunction. It's out of alignment. So no matter what you do, they see you as this dark-spirited entity. So no matter how kind you are, no matter how nice you are, and that's the part, Virgo, that Source needs you to see, is no matter how much you see the light in them, they only see the darkness in you. That's what Source is saying. When that has happened, somebody is under some kind of a spell about you. It's been so much negativity and darkness said about you, Virgos, that somebody is just, they stuck in that dysfunction. They don't even know they're under a spell. They're not even trying to get to know you for themselves. So it's just saying, hey, do yourselves and do them a favor and move on. Just move on quietly. Move on quietly. That's right. Save yourself. So I'm looking for somebody to come save you. That's how people replace one love with a new love. They don't even get a chance to even learn the lesson. One job with the next job. Didn't get a chance to learn best practices. So Source is saying here, when you're in a toxic environment, the longer you sit there, the longer you sit in that toxic environment, drinking that water, the more you're gonna be stressed out. The more you sit in an environment, the more you're gonna be stressed out. More you're going to find yourself crying, you're looking for acceptance and approval, and that's going to be a part of your legacy. Oh, that person is always crying, they always, woe is me, they always hurt, somebody's always done something bad, and the more I get to know them, they always sound like they the victim in something. Somebody's always done something bad to them. So it's just saying to you, you're learning how to, this is Gemini, but you and Gemini both share Mercury. Mercury is pre-shadow retrograde. If you're watching this video on Sunday, November 17th, in 8 days, Mercury will have gone retrograde. Will be going retrograde, right? So that's where you want to, like right now, discipline yourself, slow down, and start saying, okay, I need to invest in myself. What do I want my legacy to be? Do I want part of my legacy to be is that I don't know when to move on? Like I don't know when to quietly just move on. Or do I want part of my legacy to be I got to be blowtorched and I got to stay in something where somebody keeps looking at me as just this dark entity? And I'm not talking about skin color, obviously. I'm talking about spirit. Like they just look at you just like this. You're just this demonic spirit. You don't know when to move on. Some source is trying to teach somebody when to move on, when to move on, when to move on. So you'll even know from your own family members. If all they think about you is just the worst, somebody has put a spell on them about you and they have chosen to believe it. There's even belief in disbelief. If they chose to not believe it, there's a belief in that as well. They have chosen one or the other. They have chosen the upside of Lover's card or the dark or in reverse. That's a choice that they made. They've chosen to believe something about you without investing the time, without knowing. So the source is saying you invest the time. You're going to feel very lucky to say, listen, you're not looking at anybody as perfect. You don't see people as perfect. I know how to quietly move on. I know how to do like other people have done. They have just quietly moved on with their lives. Right? Here we have the Chariot card. That's how source is actually going to reward you for just quietly moving on. If people are just determined to see just the worst in you, no matter how much best you see in them. So that's what I'm saying for you all. Learning how to move on. Here's this Four of Pentacles here. Four of Pentacles here. So you're learning how to be, again, more conservative with your time as far as your legacy is concerned. Here's the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Wands here. So your third eye is definitely wide open. Definitely wide open about some things, right? Here's a Death card. You're going to know from now on when to move on. You're going to know when to move on. When you feel like something is about to cause you some grief or some mourning, you say, no, I got to move on. Got to move on. Got to move on. This feels like a misfortune. They don't even feel fortunate anymore. You were all excited at first. Now this is okay. This just feel like a nightmare. Feel like it's about to be a nightmare. I need to move on. I need to move on. I need to stop talking. Here's a Nine of Pentacles. Somebody need to know when to stop talking. That's what it is. Time is money. And so this is a Nine of Pentacles. 9 is a death number. That's death. I need to stop giving time to something. I need to stop giving time to something. Stop falling for the bait and switch. That's what this is. 5 of Wands. That's what source is trying to teach somebody. Like, stop falling for the bait and switch. Your third eye is open. Something that keeps trying to bait you into something. So even now, you may have stopped talking, stopped giving time to something, right? For instance, you may have stopped giving time to something. Maybe you moved on from something. But something in your spirit keeps baiting you. That's your spirit. It's basically like, okay, if you try this, okay, then you try that, and if I do it this way, then maybe that'll work. If I try it this way, then maybe that'll work. Sources say, I need you to just stop. Just stop. Stop giving any time to something at all. Just stop. So you can get to the rebirth side yourself. I see somebody settling down, possibly getting married in business and or in love. So it could be a new job for somebody. But I see somebody saving themselves because right now you've been holding space for something that is really blocking. You've been holding space for somebody, a physical person. That you've been holding space for somebody. An earth sign, another earth sign. It could be a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus for somebody. And somebody could be at a fork in the road right now trying to decide how you and it doesn't have to be because I don't want to be literal here. So it doesn't have to be their sun sign. It could be their sun sign, but it may not be their sun sign. But someone who is of value to you, someone who you feel like is of value to you, but it's like this bait and switch in your spirit. Your third eye is open. Source is saying to you, they've already talked down to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Maybe that'll clear some things up for somebody. They've already talked down to you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, which should let you know that they are under a spell. So they're around other people who are talking dark thoughts about talking about you behind your back. See there's swords in this person's back? They're around other people who are talking negatively about you behind your back. And that's what source is trying to tell you, is that their action and disrespect towards you are letting you know that there are other people that say they love you, knowing you are maybe behind closed doors trying to rest or heal from other swords being in your back, but they still adding pain to it. So Source is trying to help you to see that's a part of their legacy. If they don't know when to move on from something, especially if they're an adult, Source is saying if they don't know when to move on from something, they don't know how to take the high road and say, I don't believe anything that somebody is saying about Virgo. That's not true. Yeah, if they're an adult, even if they're a young adult, I don't believe that. That's not love. If they don't know how, if they haven't reached their King of Swords, like their throne where they're helping to adjust your crown. No, no, I'm not saying anything negative. Some people just quietly move on. That's what Source is trying to tell you. Know when to close out the cycle and move on. Know when to close out the cycle. Know when to save yourself. Know when to save yourself another sword wound in your back. So, that's what somebody is learning. Somebody is learning when to say, I need to stop going along with the flow. You're in receiving mode, a hermit, right? You know, your source, that's when you know, okay, you're good enough. You're worthy, Source is saying, but you're not. Somebody is dealing with an energy who wants to be accepted and approved by everybody, even if it's them behind closed doors depressed. And so Source is saying to you, whoever the energy is, somebody that you were either married to and the marriage didn't work out, or somebody may have transitioned, they're behind something. Somebody is behind something. It was just a dysfunctional situation. And in time, you would have figured something out. Either y'all married in business or married in love or thought about being married or something. There's some kind of a connection you all had. You may have thought it was a twin flame and they ended up, like I said, whatever it was. But I see you moving on, just in a posture of gratitude. I see you in a posture of gratitude. So your wishes are actually being fulfilled because you're learning to end negative conversations about people, places, and things when the scales have fallen from your eyes. It's like, okay, now it makes sense. Now I see something I didn't see before. Now I can see why certain people left the job. Now I can see why certain people don't want to hang around certain family members. Now I can see this. Now I can see it. Now all of a sudden everything is like clear as a bell. Now I can see it. Right? So yeah, because see, now somebody is here, the goddess card. Yeah. Because something will limit your abundance and your prosperity if you don't see it. If you don't see it, it'll limit your abundance and your prosperity because you'll keep on investing. You just keep going along with the flow. Keep investing more time. Keep giving more time. Time is money. Here's a death card. Right? So 2 things are over. 2 things are finally over. 2 things are finally over. So here we have the 6 of Wands here. So Source is saying to you, you're kind of back. You're back in the saddle again. You're getting off the fence of just overthinking something at this point. Investing all this time, being confused. I don't know what somebody's lying. All of this back and forth. Source is saying to you, it's going to boil down to learning how to move on quietly without it being some big blowtorch moment, which is not fun and it's not funny, especially when you're talking about family and you're talking about loved ones. I don't know. You see these videos on social media where you see somebody in the back of an ambulance all bloodied up, or the big family fight and somebody broke out. All this craziness going on. All it takes is one slip and fall and something horrible happens. Now all of a sudden everybody confused. What happened? I didn't know it was that. Somebody must have been drinking. It's just craziness. So it's just trying to teach you how to move on quietly when you feel like, okay, this is just not, you've outgrown that's not even fun or funny for you. It's just not even fun. So it's just trying to teach you how to save yourself and just be grateful. You know what? The past is behind you. So if somebody calls you talking about, oh, did you hear about such and such happened at family event? I don't want to know about it. I don't even want to know about it. That's what you're going to say. You only want it. You don't, because again, This is going to be a week somebody is going to start filling their mind up and investing in yourselves, your own education about something else, about other than being involved in who's stabbing somebody in the back, who was talking about somebody behind their back when they moved on. That conversation, out the window, out the window. So you made a positive impact on some people, and so it's you versus you. There's no competition. The healer and protective travelers is with you. So it's time for somebody to start dating again, but you're protected by angels. Let go and let God. Again, take only what resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, it just doesn't resonate with you. It's time to heal your wounded self. That's your Chiron. You do need your time of birth for your Chiron. But start speaking some things into existence. You inspire some people to heal. But yeah, some people, I'm telling you, they like to be in the midst of all the action. If it's not a chair being thrown, a police car outside, ambulance somewhere, to them it's boring. For you, somebody should have outgrown something. So you inspire some people to heal. You inspire some people to heal. Some people just out here just out of control. So close out the cycle in love. Somebody is an incubus. Somebody never stopped loving you. He apologizes for betraying you. But time to ground yourself. Your gifts have increased. Things are going to start flowing to you like water, but your laughter is medicine. Take time to decide. Check your request list again. And Archangel Michael, the dispenser of justice, is with you. And you have the gift of premonition, and that's forewarning. So Source is trying to help somebody to pick up on an energy that's like when you're around certain people, you can feel the hostility in them. Something about your spirit is like some anxiety raises up in you around certain people. It's just like you don't feel safe around them. But when you go back through time and you start looking at other people who were around them, you start remembering other people's facial expressions. Like, okay, something about their energy just doesn't. Now you're starting to pay attention. You won't be so busy smiling and laughing and talking. You will be paying attention. So Source is saying to you, that is a spirit that somebody carries from somebody else. Like that spirit was on them. Like that anger, that frustration was on somebody, right? That they were looking for somebody to save them from, a poisonous environment. Very poisonous environment that they were in. But something could have happened to somebody, and they're looking for somebody to save them from something. So but Source is looking at your cards here. Like I said, it looked like you're back in the saddle again, but Source is saying it's time for you to. There's also fire energy too, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They could have that somewhere in their birth chart. It could be their sun or moon sign. It could be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius as well. Their sun or moon sign. But something is over. Two situations are over. Here we have 23. I'm adventurous. You have a zest for life and you're eager to experience any and everything possible. You love change and excitement, and you need both to feel truly alive. For you, life is an adventure to be lived to the fullest. This is 23. So life for you is to be lived to the fullest. But that's what I'm talking about. When you're in a frequency and you give a lot of time to chaos and confusion and hostility and anger and frustration, you give all that time to that. Source is saying that'll end up backfiring. In some way, shape, form, or fashion. The Source is saying somebody has had to learn to stop the conversation. When people calling you with all of this, oh, guess what happened at so-and-so's house? This happened, a chair was thrown, or guess what happened at work? So-and-so got into it at work. Like, okay, please, click. Conversation is over. You only want to hear the rest of it. This is the frequency you're on. Love, right? So affirmations for love. I only attract stable, genuine, and loving relationships. I deserve all the love that life has to offer. I treat those around me with love and compassion. That's it. Yeah, because like I said before, this right here, We're talking about people who are not looking for perfection. And I have to say this again, I don't want to sound redundant, but it's important if you're talking about somebody getting married or having kids or grandkids or whatever, not to talk down to people, because you don't know how people are carrying that weight on their shoulders if they're in survival mode. Like they got to go to school with all of that. They could be depressed behind closed doors looking for people to save them, and nobody's saving them. Just people just having too much of a good time, not even paying attention to stuff. And so it can come back and bite people later because nobody was paying attention. So Source is saying faith, miraculously, amazingly, everything I always need comes. Love is opening me to receive beyond anything I imagine. So Source is trying to help somebody, learn how to be more conservative with your time. All that talking and entertaining these conversations. Stop yourself. It's not even that conversation is not that juicy. Nope, I don't want to hear about it. That'll stop that person. They will stop calling you with that kind of stuff, because that doesn't motivate. So for that, you can change the conversation. That's what I'm looking at here in the cards. I see you changing the conversation to something that's more what you're motivated by, like maybe confidence boosters, or maybe maybe you're going to be talking about solar plexus chakras. Maybe you're going to be talking about that, or root chakras, or heart, or sacral chakra. Maybe you're talking about something totally different that motivates you. But that other stuff, no. Affirmations for patience. I'm here in this present moment. I have all that I need. I lack nothing. Time is relative. Right now is all that matters. I wait with excitement. All good things come in due time. All is working for my highest good. Yep. So let's see. Last card here. Here we have sing. So, yeah. Somebody may sing, or maybe somebody stopped singing. Maybe somebody's in a rebirth of singing. Maybe somebody had put some things on pause for a minute. Maybe somebody restarted or something. I don't know. But looking at your cards here, I feel like, somebody could be back in the saddle again with something. But, That's what I have for your reading. The main takeaway is when people call you with that drama, you don't want that to be part of your legacy. You don't want that to be a part of your legacy at all. You don't want to hear that about your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, your siblings, your family. All of this stuff is just wild and just out of control. None of that kind of stuff. You don't want that to be a part of your legacy at all. People can use their fire responsibly, right? So 888, I am abundant. So as you focus on all the wonderful things that surround you, you're clearing the path for more positive energy to flow into all areas of your life and creating a place for abundance, right? So yeah, creating a place for abundance. Yep, creating a place for abundance. So let's see what else we got going on here. Let's see what else we have. Let's see what else we have here. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, let's see what else we have here. Let's see what else we have here. Yep, so so some new seeds are being planted. Brand new seeds are being planted now. So for the harvest, right? So if you got people around you, like I said, that's going to be the new seeds that's being planted. If people are bringing you a bunch of gossip about, guess what happened at so-and-so, a fight broke out or whatever, you don't want to hear it. Nope, don't even want to know about it. Because you don't want your ear gate and eye gate contaminated by that mess. Yeah. You're going to instantly go into prayer mode. Instantly. You're going right into prayer mode. I don't want to hear about it. I'm praying that people come out of that survival mode mindset. I don't want to know about it. Eventually they will stop calling you, Virgos. Eventually they will stop calling you because they'll know, don't bring that to Virgo. Virgo don't even want to hear that. And again, I'm talking to my cross watchers, even if your sun sign is not Virgo. So wherever Virgo is in your birth chart, I am talking to you. But somebody's motivation is changing. Definitely changing. Here we have the 6 of diamonds here. Yeah. You're not looking to be accepted and approved. You don't want that to be a part of your legacy. You don't want that to be a part of your legacy. All that acting out of control, that's something you're getting as far away from. So y'all are going to start noticing that when stuff breaks out, some people, they get in their car and they get as far away from it as, but they don't even know that had nothing to do with it. If it has anything to do with violence, it has anything to do with any, people think they're scaredy cats. They're like, oh my God, they scared, they run away from the first, but all it takes is a trip and a fall. Somebody hit their head the wrong way, something crazy. All of a sudden, everybody's like, oh my God, what happened? Some people, they just thrive off of that kind of mess. It throws you, source is saying you're going to start from now on staying focused. That is something at this stage. I don't know. I assume everybody looking at this channel is over 18 years old. At a certain age, certain things shouldn't even motivate people, for real. Like, certain things shouldn't even motivate people. Here's a four of, at least violence shouldn't, I mean, you know, it shouldn't, I mean, I don't know. But I'm just reading the cards. That's it. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying, you know, as far as violence is concerned, some people feel like they just in a survival of the fittest. And so if you were to say to them, hey, listen, you can take them away from that kind of an environment. If they're being bullied in that kind of environment, if they have like a parent, like I say, if you're co-parenting or whatever, and they're like, oh, they need to toughen up, you know, you whatever, and they force them to stay in that kind of an environment, that's going to backfire on them. That is going to backfire on them in the worst way. So it's just trying to help somebody like, look, you got better things to do with your time. You got better things to do with your time. Like your motivation is changing. So what I see happening this week for somebody is somebody is putting like a large amount of time in studying something that's going to increase your worth and your value. That can mean picking up books, studying, you doing something that's going to increase your worth and your value, learning something new. Your whole motivation has changed. That's what I'm looking at here in your card. Your entire motivation has changed. So if people are still out here, you know, out in the street acting wild and crazy at a certain age and you still around them, I don't know what to say. If they still in the workplace talking about they're going to cuss the manager out, you like, what? Oh, no. No. They will mess up your promotion. No, you don't want to be around those energies. So the answers you seek are coming. The answers you seek are coming. Yeah. The answers you seek are coming. So, clarity. I am clear on my purpose. I'm here for a reason. I am worthy. I am valuable. I own my truth. I'm moving forward in the right direction. I know exactly what I need to do. I take action towards the things that matter. Take action towards the things that matter. Yeah, so like I said, and I'm not going to extend this any longer, but yeah, some people either cannot come out of that environment because maybe, you know, it's just like I said, they're under a spell. They're under some kind of a spell where they feel like, you know, they spend so much time in that environment. It's like they just can't come out of that mindset. So as I say, you're going to have to get as far away from them as possible. Just get away from them. Get on your horse. See how this person is on their horse? Or get in your car, your jet, your roller skates, whatever you need to do, and head on out. Just pray for them, but just get in your plane, whatever, get as far away from them as possible. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here in your cards. And previous reading, you already have the question, so that's in the previous reading. But that's what I have for you. Make it an amazing week. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.